Police misconduct allegations have cost taxpayers in the state's largest city tens of millions of dollars in the last decade alone. And just this year, Minneapolis paid a record settlement to the family of George Floyd. WCCO's Jennifer Merrily adds up the cost and what experts say the payouts tell us about policing in the city.
And I've had several incidents with law enforcement.
Al Flowers is just one of the hundreds of people the city of Minneapolis has paid over police officer conduct.
It was all about saying that I have rights.
The city settled with him twice, most recently for $25,000 in 2017. In that case, officers arrested Flowers. He wasn't charged. He was banged up, he says, from police misconduct.
If they were being fair to the people, then they wouldn't have to pay out those settlements.
The city assumes no liability with a settlement. Officer conduct payouts range from hundreds of dollars to in the millions.
My first case against them was 1980.
Attorney Bob Bennett has represented numerous clients who felt wronged by police and settled.
It's just been a series of rinse and repeat sort of afterwards. We were suing out use of force cases. What type of force varied.
Dewey No was shot in the line of duty by a fellow officer in 2003. He was awarded $4.5 million, the largest settlement of its kind at the time. He died by suicide less than 3 years later. In 2010, David Smith died during an arrest. He was handcuffed and held down. Minneapolis paid $3 million to settle. Madeline Milton needed 7 staples in her head after she says she was pushed to the ground by an officer in 2014. Her payout, $82,000.
This is an unmistakable message.
Most notably, Bennett secured a $20 million settlement for the 2017 police killing of Justine Rushtek-Damond.
All of these cases involve people who are affected, often profoundly affected by the breach of trust.
People should know that police misconduct is costly.
Rachel Moran is an associate professor at the University of St. Thomas School of Law.
And the city of Minneapolis is self-insured, and so it is literally taxpayer money that goes to pay these enormous settlements.
And she says the numbers reflect the department.
This is what happens when you have a city that has police officers engaging in sufficient enough misconduct for there to be legal payouts about it.
Compared to similar-sized cities, Minneapolis leads the pack in officer conduct payouts. A look at the average from 2010 to 2020 shows Wichita spends an average of $204,000 per year, with several years reporting no payouts. Oakland averages just above $2.7 million a year, and Minneapolis pays out over $3.3 million per year on average. That does not include the $27 million settlement paid to George Floyd's family this year.
And the city of Minneapolis told me they don't track which officer conduct payouts also resulted in discipline for an officer involved.
The officer who shot Dewey No didn't have any discipline. The officers who killed David Smith didn't have any discipline.
And that's often what Bennett says clients are looking for.
At their base level, you want to stop the conduct from ever happening again.
Flower says history shows it's change that's overdue in Minneapolis.
Some kind of way we got to work these things out, because nobody wants the settlement. Nobody wants to be beat by the police.
In Minneapolis, Jennifer Merrily, WCCO 4 News.
The city currently faces several lawsuits connected to police conduct during last year's riots. Bennett also says that he plans to file suit for a 2017 case in which Derek Chauvin was federally charged.